Welcome to Chill Zone Vista, where great minds.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Chills on Biz Talk, where we talk with great entrepreneurs everything about business growth and development at where you are in every sector of business. Today, we have one guest in the creative industry, and he is going to talk about cash flow, finance, and business growth. For you who is so passionate about entrepreneurship, this is the right platform for you. And for those who already have existing business, I believe you'll be learning one or two things to improve and grow your business. I am your host, Rachel Hakim. Well, going on to my guest today, he is Gabriel Kulang, known to be the co-founder of Trust Hub Media, a creative industry in both audio and visual production. And it is an awesome pleasure. Today we get to know what it is all about sustaining, how to maintain your finances, and also grow your business from every stage you are in. Gabriel, it is an awesome pleasure to have you right here on SSBC.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. So, Gabriel, most of the time you see people in the creative industry struggle to decide between the creative love and passion and also making income. How can a person have a creative desire and at the same time sustain their income?
Yeah, a lot of people face that challenge, the difference between passion and making an income. So, mostly people with passion have to monetize their passion. So, you have to monetize your passion in a way that at least you organize it, not just a passion that you just do it for the sake of doing that you love it. Business has organizations that you have to organize it in such a way that at least it is monetized and it is professional. So when you organize it in professional way, yeah, and then you can easily monetize it, and then your skill or your passion can earn you something. That is briefly, yeah.
Interesting. So talking about sustainability in a business, what should an entrepreneur put in mind to have financial discipline whenever they have decided to go solo or as a partner in a business?
Yeah, one greatest discipline that every entrepreneur outside should have is that business income is not a personal income. That is a very important thing. Once you understand this, you'll be able to differentiate between your personal expenses and a business expense. For instance, most people have their small business and they go on and sell. From their revenues, they end up spending other part of it into their personal expenses, which is not allowed. As an entrepreneur, in your business, you should count yourself as an employee. Every time you should count yourself as an employee, and you should set apart a portion of payment for yourself, like a wage or a salary. That is perfect, so that you don't go beyond the budget. But if you don't do that, you end up spending business money on your personal needs, and at the end, you have a very poor financial record. So this is the most important discipline, that everyone has to separate business income from personal expenses.
There's this situation commonly that I see sometimes it happens. They say that you save and tomorrow it saves you. And when it comes to business, you find that someone will strategically put out their money, but then at the end of the day, they'll be like, this is so pressing, let me take it and I'll return it, and it will never be recovered.
Exactly.
As an entrepreneur, what advice will you give to that person?
I would say, for example, we already have financial, these technologies that in case if you are so weak with managing cash at hand, so you can use things like Momo or, for example, a bank account, for example. So this at least will keep you a distance with your cash, because whenever you always have access to your cash, there are some minor things that come around and you end up just picking and rushing into it, which is not good. So the best way to always prevent yourself from doing this, at least you keep your money away from you. For example, if you learn that you have a very bad habit with money, so if worse that you cannot have those access to those accounts, at least have a finance person. And at least the finance person should have like steps on how the money is released, not just anyhow on things that are not so much productive. Yeah.
Interesting. So to you out there, it is very important for you to be so calculative about your expenditure and what exactly it needs for your business to survive. And I believe you are watching us right now. You'll be picking up great tips on how exactly you can run your business, sustain it, and also look into the future growth of it. Talking about growth, at times you find that not everyone is doing well in the department of business, especially the creative sector.
Yes.
So how can someone be prepared for the rainy days? For instance, I might be experiencing good flow of income for the period of 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And then 4th, 5th, and 6th, things are not going the right way. Should I quit as an entrepreneur, or what plan should I do so that I get back to track?
As an entrepreneur, you don't need to quit because that is what makes you as an entrepreneur, no quitting. So you always have to push. So now, yeah, there are days that are better. You can make a lot of sales, and there are days that are really you can feel like you're stagnant, you're not doing anything. But this comes in season. Most times it is being affected or being, caused by inadequate marketing, if I say that, inadequate marketing. Because if you have as much as clients like they can line up almost every day, at least it will, you'll not experience that long period of drought in business. So to me, I see that is caused by very less marketing strategies that are put forth. But mostly I see companies that do a lot of marketing, they don't run short of clients. And then also you have to look at customer satisfaction. For example, there are customers that they are willing to come daily, but if they are not satisfied, it becomes a problem. So the only way for you to prepare for rainy days, at least, you have to make sure that, one, your marketing is excellent. You have to keep pushing and keep pushing every time. And then two, you have to know that your clients, your target clients, you're satisfying them so that they come back next time. Because if you don't do that, they may go. And hence, it gives you that space, which is not good. Yeah, so you have to keep on with these two important things.
Talking about marketing, we are in an environment whereby you literally have to do so that people will believe. What are the basic marketing strategy as an entrepreneur you need to know? Or at least according to budget? Because some companies feel like, oh no, this is too much because marketing is draining. It needs so much income into it.
All right, I know one thing that most people like to do, which is not a good policy. Cheap price. Like most people like to start by pricing their services or commodities very cheaply to attract people. Yeah, that one can attract for you people, but then the revenue you make out of it will not be enough. So the best marketing right now at this current age, the good thing is that we have the social media. So if your business is really like a business that targets certain group of people, you can just do marketing on social media, because social media, it sends out your services, your products, and everything almost as fast as possible. So at least people will get to know about you, and then others will willingly come and try to pick something from you. So I see social media is the best way, best marketing strategy to reach out to so many people at the current time. Other things now will be your customer, like I said earlier, customer satisfaction. So how you handle the clients now inside the place also is another marketing technique that will always keep you on the track.
Okay, Gabriel.
Yeah.
Interesting. That is another satisfactory one. So right now I'm a new entrepreneur in the market.
Yes.
I have to pay for the rent, for the electricity, and for the goods that I need so that I have to sell out to people. How can you help me to make an effective pricing for a product? Let's say I'm selling cups, like, the glasses and stuff. How can you help me to actually purchase that and in return give me the ROI, which is return of investment at the end of the year?
All right. Setting up prices. Actually, that is one of the hardest things, because people don't look at the foundation of how price is brought up. Because to set a price, you must always look at your cost, cost of delivering that services or cost of production. For example, if you're doing your budgeting maybe for 3 months or 6 months, so at least you should know how much you're spending on rent in this period and how much on staff, for example, employees, and then how much on goods that you're going to purchase when you have all this, and then you're later going to divide it, because you're going to see, now this is my cost, okay? And then this is the quantity of commodities I'm going to get and sell them. So you have to also now divide by that and see how much each of those is supposed to be priced in order for you to generate that. So usually, for you to price, to put a perfect price, you have to work on your cost. You see, because if your cost is very very low, at least it gives you that room to underprice your services such that you can be able to do that marketing strategy whereby you get people so quick. But if your cost is high, now you're not going to underprice your services, because if you do that, it will harm your operations. So what you have to do best now, you have to at least focus on quality, delivery of quality service or goods or products, such that your clients will build that trust, because clients have this understanding that something quality is always expensive, so they will go for it if your things are quality. So I think that is few I can say.
All right, thank you so much. Let's go for a short break, and in the studio I do have Gabriel Kulang. After this, we'll be back right away.
Thanks.
I'm exhausting all the questions already. Welcome back from that short break. I am your host, Rachel Hakim, and here is Chills On Biz Talk, where we talk about business, money discussions, and how exactly you can thrive in the field that you decide to make your income from. Today in the studio, I do have Gabriel Kulang, who is the co-founder of Trust Hub Media. He taught us previously about marketing, pricing, and how we can be disciplined when it comes to our money, differentiating between the personal and business account or finance. Gabriel, there's this tendency that is happening nowadays. You find that people are less important into saving or putting their money into the bank. Do you believe that it is important still for us to keep our money the traditional way as entrepreneurs so that we can have easy access, or we should avoid that fee that is to be reduced every time? So how can we maintain the consistency of saving our money to sustain our finance?
Yeah, that is a bit hard for especially starters, entrepreneurs that are starting, because the whole idea of saving comes from excess. When you have excess, at least you should be able to save. Or if you have a plan that you're targeting something and you see that you're spending the money, so you have a plan, you can now put it onto saving. But for young entrepreneurs that are still coming up and they still lack a lot of things, they need to refinance their businesses. So it becomes very hard, because when you deposit your money into the bank, the next 2 days, you already need the money back. So it becomes a challenge to go deposit and then go and withdraw again, which is not good. So right now, to young entrepreneurs who are still starting, I say it's not important to deposit your money in the bank unless you're saving for something that you want to do. For example, people who, let's say, if your sales or your daily sales is less than $100, this one becomes hard if by the end of the month, almost all your sales goes to your staff and to your expenditures, cost of goods. It becomes so hard to save something up. So better you just keep the money in circulations and in operations, because you don't need to run out of cash. You know, cash flow is like a blood of business. And should you run out of cash, your operation stops. And when your operation stops, it creates this gap now in your production, which is not good. So I'll say to starters, keeping money in the bank is not an option for you for now. But as you grow, now you start having sufficient cash coming in, yeah, it's definitely very important.
Interesting. I'll say you're one in the most sensitive industry that is currently an industry that currently people feel like it doesn't bring enough, which is the creative industry. What are the kind of mistakes that you have committed and you have learned while you decided to thrive on and keep on going, no matter what discussions others are having towards it?
All right. The first mistake I made, if I can go back into the first year that we started, is underpricing. I started by a very cheap price and almost led us into a very big pothole, because most times I find myself so hard to pay for my operations because the income coming is very less, and it started getting my staff, my team so exhausted of too much work and less income. So that's one mistake that people have to be noticed. Like, you have to take notice of it as an entrepreneur. Always don't underprice because you want to fit in the market.
Yeah.
You can advertise yourself in other ways, but at least put your price fair, market price. At some point, it's going to help you. It's going to help you cover your costs. So that's one mistake that I remember so well. And then the second mistake in a business that people mainly do, poor keeping of records, finance records. For example, you'll be selling every day, but you don't always keep track of your sales. People always love to, at the end of the day, you count your money, how much you've earned. Only you just take that note, like maybe today 600, and then expenses, some people just write maybe 50,000.
Yeah.
But no, at least you have to track like every component of your business. For example, if you're selling more than one or two services, you have to know them one by one, so that you can be able to trace which one is making for you real income and which one is draining you out. So that's what one most important thing. You must always keep your records, because if you don't do that, it becomes like you're just driving blindly in this industry and you don't know what is happening in front. Yeah.
Do you believe that entrepreneurs need to challenge themselves by doing something that they like or doing something that they know?
Yeah, you have to challenge yourself by doing something you don't like, even if, because most instances, there are ideas that are going to come. They're going to save you actually, but sometimes you don't have interest in them. But if that is the way to go, I think you really need to.
What word do you have for people who are trying to venture into the creative world because they believe that it's a fun business, enjoyable one? Trust me, it's a fun business.
It's fun.
You get to enjoy every bit of every single thing that you see around.
Sure.
But maintaining it can be a bit like a mind-blowing thing. Someone will be like, it's something that is so risky for me to venture into and stuff like that. What word of advice will you give to them?
I'll say to everyone that is willing to join this creative industry, okay, there is fun. We all know that there is fun. You can have fun and enjoy, celebrate yourself. But one thing you have to remember always is that where is your source of income? How are you going to sustain yourself? You have to think about this every time, because if you think of the fun alone and you don't think of where your income is going to come from, it becomes a challenge, because you'll not last in that industry. So I would say to those entrepreneurs, start by first researching about your target clients. If you have them, it becomes very clear. Although you have your fans there, at least you know who at the end of the day is going to pay you. So I would say, do your research enough. Maybe one day we'll talk about clients. And yeah, definitely, because those are the most important thing. We always say in business, customer is a king.
Yeah.
Definitely. So it is a king, because he's the person that keeps you on. Without him or her, you will definitely not exist.
Thank you for saying that. This one gives me to the second question, or takes me to the second question about partnership. Usually you find that people are scared to collaborate or partner. They feel that there are two types of people. They feel like I should do it alone and I will succeed.
Yeah.
There's that one that says that I have this, but I don't have the other. Maybe the person has skills, but not the finance. And they'll get someone who has the finance, but not the skill.
Yes.
Now, in this situation, how can we seal the partnership and bring long-term growth into the business or idea?
Yeah, partnership is it's a very important thing. It's only that mostly people don't do it professional, and that's why it becomes a challenge. So we all know that you cannot do it alone. In whatever you're doing, you cannot do it alone. But you have to be very keen, because if you are going to into a partnership, at least you should be doing it professionally. Have your memorandum of understanding. At least you should be signing an agreement with your partner. Like, what levels of partnership are you people? If you're to go on to 50-50%, or maybe 70-30% at least, and the responsibilities actually should be put there clearly. Because at times, you're going to partnership and you find maybe the other person is already preoccupied, maybe occupied by some things, and the person may not be there always for you to help you. And then if you are someone who just maybe short-tempered at times, you just end up saying, oh, my partner is even not helping me. So at least from start, you should have this understanding, like sit down before you just agree to work with the person and know yourself fully. If you have that, it will guard you from whatever is coming ahead of you. So I suggest partnership is good, but do it in a very professional way, not just mutual understanding, which is maybe mouth-to-mouth conversation.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Very important. Well, thank you so much, Gabriel, for this insightful discussion and giving us exactly what we need for us as entrepreneurs, be it young, existing, or someone who's so passionate about starting. Thank you so much for gracing our channel today.
Thank you.
And to you out there, this is all about Chills On BizTalk, where you get to know more, not only from entrepreneurs, but also educating you wherever you are. South Sudan is a growing platform for entrepreneurs to take the new stage of their life. Making money shouldn't only be a tough thing, but should be enjoyable, something you will leave out for someone else to inherit from your bloodline. So today, I believe you have taken some amazing tips on how exactly you can control your cash flow, have the discipline, and sustain your business. Thank you so much for watching this, and catch up with us next week, Sunday. I'm your host, Rachel Hakim. Bye-bye.